The U.S. Open in the last decade or so hasn't seen anyone defending their crown. It has fast become the major that springs up the most surprises, and the only slam where the big three look a little weak. This year, the U.S. Open was won by a teenage sensation and the new world number one, Carlos Alcaraz. And we've got reason to believe that some other youngster could follow in his footsteps. More on that in today's video, starting with junior stars set to take U.S. Open 2023 by storm. We've only gone back to predict next year's U.S. Open 2023 and take a look at this year's junior competitions at the U.S. Open. There were some fantastic performances from some of the most talented young lot, and that included surprising victories along with some gritty, hard-fought wins. During all that, some historical achievements were made, and the talent on display was versatile as well, with the winners hailing from 3 different continents. As we've already discussed, the U.S. Open, for some reason, provides the perfect platform for surprise wins. It has given the likes of Carlos Alcaraz, Daniel Medvedev, and Dominic Thiem their first ever major titles. And before that, it contributed to Stan Wawrinka's collection, and the likes of Marin Cilic and Juan Martín del Potro also tasted success during the Big Three's domination. So we've got a lot of reasons to believe that some of the stars from this year's junior competition at Flushing Meadows could be the next ones to taste some level of success next year. Without wasting any more time, let's look at the most impressive players from the junior competitions at the U.S. Open 2022. First up, Alex Eala, the number 10 seed at the U.S. Open. Alex Eala surprised everyone with an extremely consistent campaign. Her story is easily the most enchanting, and she's already won a lot of fans. She's a 17-year-old from the Philippines who moved to Mallorca to train at the Rafa Nadal Academy, and boy did that pay off. Not to mention the odds that she overcame to win the U.S. Open girls singles title, as she had to fend off the second seed, Havlickova. We loved her grit and her ability to take advantage of the important points by coming up with clutch shots, sign of a superstar. Eala's planning to return to the Pro Tour after previously flirting with professional tennis, and could make a next step easily this time around. Also, she's won 2 other majors playing in doubles, so her reaction time and net game are something you need to look out for. We think she could make it big over the next year. Something about these Rafa Nadal Academy graduates, huh? Next on the list, Lucie Havlickova, Czech Republic 17-year-old sensation. Lucie Havlickova has been in and around the adult and junior scene over the past year, but she's found more success at the junior level. And after another decent campaign, she could be ready to make the move. Like Eala, she's won 2 doubles major titles and also claimed the singles title in Paris, but fell in the finals at Queen's, just like she did at Flushing Meadows this year. That shouldn't be an issue though, because the talent is there, and she's tasted success at this level too, so we think she'll be making the leap before her 18th birthday. Havlickova is one of the most impressive talents at this level, and she's only going to get better with some professional tour experience in her bag. If she keeps her head level and feet on the ground, there's no reason why she can't ring a surprise or two in next year's U.S. Open. After that, Gilles Arnaud-Bailly. He might have lost the U.S. Open boys singles final, but Gilles Arnaud-Bailly is one of the most impressive talents we've ever seen at this level. In fact, alongside Landaluce, the winner of the U.S. Open, could end up making a storied rivalry in the future. But for now, let's focus on Bailly and just how good a player he is. He was the number 2 seed coming into the U.S. Open and also made it to the French Open final earlier this year. For a minute though, forget about the rankings and the losses. Bailly's so consistent and he's such a clean hitter, we're practically itching to see him play at the professional level. It's a big leap, but one that's not beyond Bailly. In fact, we'd wager it's about time that leap comes, because we expect to see him play at the men's U.S. Open in 2023. Also, Diana Shnaider. For someone who has made 3 doubles majors finals in the same year, Schneider's hardly a talent you can keep out of this list. She didn't only win 2 Grand Slam tournaments alongside Claire Vigounoyer and Havlickova, but also has previous wins from the 2020 and 2021 years in majors. Shnaider has a career-high ranking of number 2 in the ITF circuit, and while some think that those numbers don't necessarily translate well to the professional tour, we give you one name, Iga Swiatek. So all things considered, we expect to see Diana in action on the professional tour as soon as the calendar flips. Lastly, the American contingent. They get their own mention on the list purely because there are so many players to keep an eye out for. Of course, the standout name is Texan star Liv Hody, who strung together 4 good results at the majors this year. She made it to the tennis semis of the Australian Open, the quarters at the French, and won Wimbledon. While the U.S. Open wasn't too ideal because of a second-round exit, the 16-year-old is a special talent. Along with her, the likes of Bruno Kazuhara, the winner of the singles and doubles Australian Open titles, Sebastian Gorsny, and Alex Michelsen are talents you need to look out for. And how can we forget the 17-year-old buddies, Ozan Baris and Nishesh Basavareddy, who won this year's boys doubles title in only 41 minutes. They're super too. Don't tell us we didn't warn you, because these players are here to stay. In other news, let's talk about Alexandra Eala powering her way to W80 California main draw. We've already been introduced to the brilliant talent that is Alexandra Eala, but it seems that the U.S. Open Juniors champ isn't planning on stopping anytime soon. In the first 2 matches of the qualifiers of the RS Pro Open, Eala absolutely breezed through and got her ticket punched to the main draw. Alana Smith, the 22-year-old American, was the unlucky opponent who ended up facing Alexandra Eala in top form as she smashed her 6-0, 6-0 before destroying Denisa Marcinkovica, another 22-year-old, 6-1, 6-3. These 2 impressive wins meant that the U.S. Open winner has found a berth in the main draw of the $80,000 ITF Pro Circuit event, and she'll be hoping to stun a few other players. The Filipina teenager will be facing Delana Hewitt in the opening round of the tournament. It's a good test of her abilities, as the playing field is massive and headlined by Rebecca Peterson, who was ranked 43rd in the world not too long ago. Next, Tomic's double success at the ITF level. Bernard Tomic will forever be the story of what could have been in tennis. His terrible attitude destroyed his chances of realizing the potential he possessed. But it seems that these days the Australian has been trying his luck at the ITF level and has found a lot of success there. He's won 10 consecutive tennis matches and hasn't dropped a set in 2 tournaments in Cancun, Mexico. The Australian was once ranked 17th in the world, but these days it seems he's getting by playing against the likes of Alexander Kozminov, who he defeated in the final to make it 2 tournament wins in Cancun in less than a month. It was a decent performance, where after a tough first set, Tomic stormed through to a straight set win, 7-6, 6-3, but he's still ranked at 659 in the world. He'll need to return to the higher rated tours to make a step toward the top ranking, if it still interests him, of course. Maybe it's not about the ranking anymore. Who knows with this kid? Lastly, Swiatek blasts ITF scheduling and pulls out of BJK Cup. The 3-time major winner and the world number 1, Iga Swiatek, has pulled out of the Billie Jean King Cup because of its close proximity to the WTA finals, and has been furious with the impossible and unsafe scheduling of WTA and the ITF. She took a brutal approach and slammed the 2 authorities for making it impossible for players to compete and for not looking after the welfare of the players. The ITF president, though, has replied to her concerns and explained that the schedule was extremely tough to put the 2 tournaments apart. He also apologized to Swiatek, other players, and the fans for this decision. It's a big loss for tennis because this way they'll miss seeing the best players in action at their peak. Something needs to be done about these excessive tournaments. That's a wrap for this video. Is there any other talent from the junior circuit who could make the leap to professional tennis? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.